Have you ever asked yourself why you're still single? Well, keep watching this video and I'll let you know why it is that you could still be single. Why are you single? And I know the common, answer is, oh, all the good ones are taken. There's no one out there. We're in a pandemic, which that one, is a valid answer. But have you ever thought and said to yourself that maybe the reason that I'm single is because of me and not the other person? So you're up here thinking that you are attracting someone when in fact you're having them run for their life in the opposite direction. See, you didn't think about that, did you? Now, some people want to be single just, out of choice because they just simply don't want a relationship, or they want to focus their time on their career. And that's totally fine. But this video is mainly for the ones that are single and they want love in their life. So this video is for you. Okay, so keep watching. I even took some notes so I can stay on track and I don't forget anything. So here are a couple of points that I think that it is that the reason why you're single. Okay, so point number one is that you are super, super picky and your standards are super unrealistic. Now, of course, in past videos, I talk about standards and requirements and non-negotiables and deal breakers, 100,000%. Stick to those. Make sure you have a list somewhere hidden away of your standards and your requirements, your non-negotiables and your deal breakers. But what I'm saying, of course, anything is possible, but let's just keep it realistic, okay? I want him to make $5 million, drive a Rolls Royce, live wherever, dressed in Gucci from head to toe, and what have you. Okay, granted, anything is possible, and you can manifest anything, 1,001%. But just stop being so unrealistic that maybe, you find a guy who has an honest living and he makes 6 figures and not 7 figures, and he may not drive that Rolls Royce, but he drives an Escalade. I don't know. You gotta have some flexibility, okay? Because not everyone's perfect. And at the end of the day, everyone's flawed. I'm flawed, you're flawed. And if you don't think you're flawed, then you need to take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror, because we're all flawed. And we should all be evolving into better humans. Okay, so your expectations of the person that you want is super, super unrealistic. Okay, another one. It could be your attitude. Are you happy-go-lucky, or are you Debbie Downer? Are you open and receptive? Are you open mind, open heart? Having a good, conversation with the other person sitting across from you, and not being like a sourpuss and just being like, yes, okay. And you're just too cool for school. Are you showing your personality? Cracking corny jokes, or, laughing at their corny jokes, or, just being yourself. Is it your attitude? Because I know a lot of people, you guys need major attitude adjustments. And trust me, I wouldn't want to date you just based off of your attitude alone, because your attitude, like I said, can be a really, really big turnoff to a lot of people. Okay, cool. Are you making too many rules? This is another one in your mind. Okay, this person has to be this, and this. And you have all of these rules set up in your head for whatever reason. And if someone doesn't follow the rule, oh my gosh, I gotta count them out. For example, which he forgot to open up the car door for you. Okay, of course, chivalry shouldn't be dead, but just because someone forgot to open up a car door for you doesn't mean that you have to completely cancel them out as a person. That's a horrible, example, but just bear with me here. Or, they forgot to, let's see, put their napkin in their lap the second like they sat down at the table. Just stop having like so many rules, because again, you could really be missing out on a really awesome person, but you have all of these rules in your head that this person doesn't even have a chance. So give them a chance. Stop with the rules. And what I mean by rules, just the unrealistic rules. Now, of course, my rules, for example, is like you have to treat me like a lady. You have to pay on the first date, because I don't do that Dutch thing. Because if we're doing Dutch, then we're friends. We're not dating. So those are like my little rules, but just find a happy balance and a happy medium when you're making the rules in your head, okay? You run at the first sight of conflict. No relationship is perfect. And sometimes we go into these relationships with these unrealistic point of views. And when you see like the first sign of disappointment or like the first sign of conflict, you want to run, okay? And some of the best relationships have conflict. It's called communication. Talk about it. Try and solve it. Don't just like throw in the towel just because you guys have like one little disagreement. Now, obviously, if physical violence is involved, then I'm saying, yes, go, don't collect $200, get the hell out of there. But if it's like a little tiff or like a little bit of conflict or disagreement, you wanted Wendy's, they wanted McDonald's, it's nothing to break up and cop an attitude and just being super, super mean. There's just no need for that. And another thing, when you're dating someone new, this is why I always say, make sure you are healed from your previous relationship. You don't want your new person to be paying for mistakes of your last relationship. So for example, myself, when I married my ex-husband, he made me pay for all the mistakes that she did or all the things that went wrong in their marriage. So I never had a fair chance. So the person you're dating, don't put them through that, because it's not fair to you and it's definitely not fair to them. And you want to give your relationship a good and honest, fair chance. Okay? And that's why it like blows my mind when I see so this video is mainly for my women. Okay? So I hate to beat up on you guys, but I see this all the time, especially when I see like a beautiful girl and she's just always single. And it's just like, I wonder what is really behind all of that. Like there's a reason why you're single, because again, there's 7+ billion people in the world, and it's very hard for me to believe that you can't find not just one person. So that's why I say you have to look at you, and maybe it's something that you are doing wrong. And I hate to be the messenger of bad news, but it is what it is. And the one last thing is that another reason why you could be single, I don't know if this is like a reason, but try something different. Because obviously if you're dating the same type of person over and over and over again, and if those relationships keep ending not the way that you want them to end, let's try something different. Like they say, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, that is called insanity. So let's stop being insane and let's get sane and let's try something different and step out of the box. Because again, life offers so many surprises that your blessing could be literally around the corner and you're just passing it by because you're stuck in this box, whether it's looks, whether it's money, whether it's whatever, but that's on you and no one else. So take a chance, take a risk. So that brings me to, what are some tips on hopefully not being single? Okay. Like I just said, think out of the box. If you normally like to date athletes, maybe try dating an accountant. I don't know, really bad example. But try something different. Step out of the box. Think open. Be open-minded. My motto, or one of my mottos, are open mind, open heart. Because when you're open, you are allowing yourself to receive a lot of goodness. But if you just keep boxing yourself in, you aren't allowing anything else in. So open mind, open heart. Try something different. It's okay. Always continue to practice self-love. And that's super important because when you love yourself, you know what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take. And when you're happy and when you're healed and when you're feeling good on the inside, it's going to show on the outside because people are going to be able to pick up on your vibes, on your attitude, on your demeanor. So always practice self-care. If you're with someone, if you're not with someone, it's just so important to practice self-care. Have good vibes. That's another one. Like I said, the law of attraction, what you put out comes back. So if you're putting out there like negative Nancy vibes and I'm going to be single and there are no good guys out there, guess what? You're going to be single and you're not going to find anyone good out there. So be positive. Put those vibes out there, manifest that relationship. Say, I'm an awesome person. An awesome person is going to come back to me. I can't wait. And just start visualizing it, start manifesting it, and even if you're single, still have a good attitude, still be hopeful, still be grateful, still be blessed, still, just because you're single and that great relationship hasn't come to you yet, you can still be happy. Okay. So good vibes. And of course, make sure you have your standards and your requirements, like I always talk about. Make sure you have your deal breakers, okay? And make sure you have your non-negotiables. And make sure they're realistic versus being unrealistic, like I talked about in the first video. Like, for example, yes, you can be picky. If someone comes on your first date and they're drunk and high and they're dressed like a slob and they have terrible BO. Okay, that's a realistic standard and not being being picky. Absolutely. But just make sure you know exactly what it is that you're looking for in someone. Like I said, write it all down. Standards, requirements. These are my non-negotiables. These are my deal breakers. So going into it, you know what you want and you're not wasting time, because the most valuable thing and the most expensive thing that we have in this life is time. It's not money. So if you think it's money, you're wrong. It's time, because time you can never get back. Money you can always make back. And just be prayerful and just pray and hope and live your life. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you tell a friend, 2 or 3, comment, because you know that I love hearing from you guys. And please subscribe to my channel. It will mean the world to me. So until next time, I love you.